Yo, what is going on guys, welcome back to a brand new Fortnite Battle Royale video here on my channel. So as you guys may have seen floating around YouTube or the internet, as soon as a new season releases, or just generally when you're scrolling through Fortnite videos, you usually see a video to do with the evolution of the Fortnite map, and it's just somebody basically showing the map and then going, hey guys, here's some gameplay, we're going to show it now. But in today's video I thought we'd spice everything up a bit and ultimately show you guys not only the development and evolution of the Fortnite map, but ultimately how the Fortnite map has evolved. And as you guys know, there's been tons of crazy changes that have happened to the map, including things to do with the storyline, or just generally things that have been, you know, put in the map or taken out or whatever, and we're going to be going over all them changes and ultimately when they happened, why they happened, and how things occurred within the Fortnite Battle Royale map to shape it ultimately all the way from Season 1 to nearly Season 8 really, that we're going to mention in today's video. Very quickly before we start the video, I'd just like to quickly announce that today's video is sponsored by Moot. Moot is an incredibly useful app where you can find the perfect teammates for casual and competitive play in whatever game you desire. I use this app on a daily basis to play with subscribers and generally team up with people who've bought the battle pass, so I get that multiplier XP bonus to rank up all the way to level 100 as fast as I can. You can stay up to date on the latest reviews, highlights and trending memes, all for completely 100% free, like literally no scams, no fees, sign up, completely free, and it's basically a very underrated social networking platform like Reddit where you can explore many different features. It will be linked at the top of the video description down below for you all to download and check out, and obviously follow me on as I have my own personal account. Not only can you stay up to date with the latest news, information and memes about your favourite games, but you can also earn in-game Moot coins by engaging with the community in order to spice up your profile by buying items in the Moot coin shop. There's also an in-app voting system that allows you to downvote or upvote content of which you see, and also this is just generally a must-have for Fortnite players as it allows you to not only scroll on what platform if you want to team up with other people because you're tired of playing solos, and actually search for what mode other people are wanting to play so you can instantly link up with other players and actually play with them or against them if you're playing Playground, for example. With all that being said, make sure to check out Moot, linked at the top of the video description down below, available on iOS, Android and PC. Alright, so getting into talking now about what we're ultimately basing this video around, how the Battle Royale map has evolved over time from Season 1 to 7 or maybe even 8 of what we're expected to see during the end of the video. But anyways, we started off at Season 1. I want you guys to see the actual physical change of the map in a faded transition from Season 1 to Season 7 before we hop into the changes and how they've happened or why they've happened in this video. Many of the early seasons such as Season 1, Season 2 and Season 3 don't really have any reason behind the map changes, as there was no storyline predominantly embedded in Fortnite Battle Royale's development at this point. However, since Season 4 onwards, we've always seen a storyline involved with the map changes from season to season. So with that being said, for the earlier seasons, we can just ultimately summarise very quickly these seasons and ultimately what these were like within the game at that current time, of that being the most recent season. Initially starting with Season 1, obviously the plainest Battle Royale map we've ever seen in Fortnite, the Fortnite Season 1 Island, and this only consisted of 13 named locations. At the time, everybody didn't really know how to build, so you'll see gameplay floating around on YouTube from very big YouTubers, streamers, and even competitive players right now, for example Nick30, who didn't even use his materials in gunfights, nor did his opponents in the gameplay that's floating around on YouTube. Very minimal of this that is actually, you know, out there in a different variety, because he was very much smaller back then and obviously had different obligations and commitments going on in his life, rather than, you know, speeding the time clock up until now where it's his full-time job and he's making millions a year. Moving on to Season 2 within Fortnite Battle Royale, the game was obviously getting more traction at this point, and because of this, towards the end season of Season 1, Epic Games thought, you know what, we're going to add some more new interesting features to this Fortnite Island or map that people ultimately just, you know, go and play on, being the only arena that we can actually battle in, and they added 5 new named locations, of which were Junk Junction, Haunted Hills, Snobby Shores, Tilted Towers and Shifty Shafts, all being obviously brand new, seen for the first time ever upon Season 2's release. And obviously you can see the map got a different aesthetical look when you actually open your map and decide where to land within the game. Season 2 made a predominant mark in Fortnite's history of innovating their item shop, or season shop from Season 1 should I say, into the Battle Pass, containing only 70 tiers, and this being the first ever Battle Pass including at tier 70 as the max tier, the Black Knight skin. skin. The next season in Fortnite after Season 2, being obviously Season 3, started on February 22nd and included no initial new map changes as the servers went live again when this particular season launched, with a new innovated battle pass with new cosmetics to earn within it and a new max tier being the tier 100 rather than the tier 70 we saw previously in the first initial Season 2 battle pass. Around literally a week after the release of Season 3, they added a new location which is very underrated and undervisited to this day within Fortnite that still remains being Lucky Landing. Lucky Landing is a very aesthetically unique area because of the fact it's Chinese themed and ultimately has one of the rarest things in the map, only one of which consists on the whole island, being the pink tree at this named location. So like I mentioned at the start of the video, there's literally been like no storyline thus far or live events occurring to ultimately tease new map changes coming in future seasons until the very end of Season 3, where we first initially started getting teased live events that were going to occur in order to change the map, and ultimately what that would be upon the literal impact of these changes actually being implemented to the map in some way, shape or form of progression. So the first teaser towards the map changes that we would be seeing was on top of Tilted Towers roof, where we saw basically a kind of lookout that was seemingly abandoned of sofas and chairs basically scattered around a rooftop with static on the TVs around the map, and also warning signs displaying images of a meteor, Tilted Towers, and also day predictions of when the meteor would be hitting, with today scribbled out and tomorrow written underneath it because it obviously didn't happen that allocated day. And then on the final images you guys can see a UFO which was then actually visible in the sky. The main topic of conversation for people, however, was not the UFO in the sky, rather the giant comet next to it being the meteor that was going to eventually hit the map and create changes that we see still in the map today. In the final week lead up to Season 4, the end of Season 3, we saw meteorites literally crashing down in every point of the map, and they actually destroyed structures and did damage no matter regardless of whether you made the structures or they were already structures for named locations or POIs on the map. Regardless of the fact that this small meteor shower didn't leave any impact or imprint on the map of where they'd actually hit, we also saw a small map change basically of telescopes on top of the mountain terrain that we have around the Battle Royale map, looking up into the sky as telescopes do, to basically imply furthermore that there was going to be something going down with this big comet or star or asteroid that many people were speculating it was. Upon Season 4's release, we could see in the Brace for Impact trailer the UFO that we got teased towards in the sky flying around initially, and then the meteor hitting Dusty Divot with the characters finally standing over it, teasing the fact that there was a big impact on the map, hence the title and theme of the trailer and teasers leading up before it being Brace for Impact. Around 90 minutes after the initial leak or release of this trailer by Epic Games themselves, Season 4 went live in Battle Royale for people to hop on and play, with new locations not only being where the meteor struck, making Dusty Depot turn into Dusty Divot with a giant crater in the ground, but also we had Risky Reels, the new cinema location, various craters around the map not as big as Dusty Divot where other meteors are perhaps struck or broken off the main asteroid or meteorite and basically collided with the map, and we also saw the superhero hideout and the supervillain lair missile silo. Despite the fact that Omega, the tier 100 skin within Season 4's battle pass, and Carbide, the tier 1 skin within the Season 4 battle pass, had a staged conflict to appeal to this superhero supervillain movie theme that they were ultimately shooting, hence the new location, the movie theatre, being Risky Reels, the blockbuster or visitor skin had real evil intent for the map and actually acted upon it in the later part of the season. This was also teased in the Week 8 loading screen of the visitor skin launching the rocket in the evil lair, and in the final days of the season the first announced live event happened, being the rocket launch or the blast off quote unquote event that was named within the game and notified on the news tab menu, where the rocket launched into the sky because of the visitor launching it initially, which was initially teased in the Week 8 loading screen of Season 4, where it basically jolted into the sky, destroyed parts of the map and also opened these interdimensional rift portals, which then started teasing map changes coming to Season 5. The teasers initially pulled through was an anchor at the bottom of what we now know as Viking Village, and also a carriage where we now know Paradise Palms to be, but back then being Moisty Mire. These teasers can actually be found in the map to this day, obviously because of the fact these locations came to the game and they were teasing the theme of this particular location, the anchor being the Viking Village where there's a giant Viking boat obviously, and an anchor goes with a ship, and with Paradise Palms being this carriage that's seen near around the location of which it was initially implemented in Season 4 at Moisty Mire. After these teasers were implemented, the final teaser we got was this skeletal structure of an animal in Moisty Mire, implying the fact that there would be a very dry land replacing Moisty Mire, one that was not inhabitable for animals to ultimately live on. Upon the release of the Season 5 trailer with the title Worlds Collide, and hours after this was actually released, the release of Season 5, we knew that everything that had been teased towards us through these things that had been pulled through the interdimensional portals in Season 4 was ultimately coming true, or came actually physically to life in the map, with this giant desert area that had Paradise Palms as a named location within it, as well as many other POIs that didn't have a name for the location but were good to land at for loot. We also saw the implementation of lazy links. We also saw the Viking village and the Viking ship appear directly above where the anchor initially spawned in through the interdimensional portal, and we also saw small developments happen to Dusty Divot where the greenery was actually starting to grow back, and ultimately the damages of the meteor were being slowly swept up as trucks around the map were basically implying the fact that the meteor holes were being filled in, all these small ones anyways, and Dusty Divot was becoming more green and more grown over by natural scenery. As Season 5 progressed, around halfway through, the cube spawned in through a particularly large lightning strike, larger than all the others that hit the map and spawned on the outskirts of Paradise Palms. It eventually made its way, taking its time and making some diversions eventually to Loot Lake, and upon the destination of Loot Lake being reached, it then sank into the water and completely got engulfed by it and sank underneath it, changing this named location of Loot Lake into a giant bounce pad. Upon the end of Season 5, the Season 6 trailer revealed main map changes ultimately being based around the Kevin the Cube saga, and showed us how Loot Lake turned into Leaky Lake from the submerged cube hoisting the island into the sky, of which it basically went underneath, leaving a giant tornado as an access method to get from the ground up to this floating island. And there were also other map changes included within Season 6, such as Haunted Hills having a castle on top of the mountain above it. There was also Corn in Fatal Fields, Wailing Woods gained more houses, the evil lair was almost destroyed and broken down, and the superhero base was basically just abandoned. The cube, or the floating island, throughout the whole of Season 6 basically just floated around the map to several destinations and charge points known as runes, of which it replenished the cube's energy in all 7 steps it made, and then the cube began to engulf more of the floating island as time passed, and upon this time passing eventually led back to its initial destination of Loot Lake, where it initially got hoisted from the ground under the water. Having all this energy pent up inside it, the cube finally exploded whilst exposing the life form inside it, being Kevin the Butterfly, in complementation to the name of this live event that you could witness one time only in game, being called the Butterfly event, which made newly formed Leaky Lake revert back to Loot Lake. Around this time, the unlockable skin for completing 7 sets of the weekly challenges during Season 6, the Hunting Party or AIM skin, was revealed, as well as his intent for the Fortnite island. A snowstorm started to appear in the distance and outskirts of the map in the Flush Factory region and merged closer to the map day by day, eventually to the point where a giant iceberg could be spotted behind this giant snowstorm, reinforcing its movement and momentum. Upon the end of Season 6, the Season 7 trailer was released hours before Season 7 went live to be able to hop on and play with the new locations, and revealed the iceberg collision, which resulted in 1/3 of the map being frozen over. Flush Factory, for example, the previous named location, was now engulfed entirely by snow, and Greasy Grove, the same outcome but entirely frozen and engulfed by ice. So that leaves us to the current point we're at in Season 7, and one thing to note of, leading towards the start or implication of development in the storyline into Season 8, is the fact that during the Butterfly event, where Kevin the Cube was ultimately, waiting to explode, actually dripped a dragon egg into the Leaky Lake hole, and that's what we've been revealed towards in the Polar Peak Castle, which is getting revealed more and more as weekly updates happen, through more of the ice seemingly being melted, engulfing initially this giant castle at Polar Peak, and more mysteries are uncovered as more bottom layers are basically accessible and revealed visually towards what's inside them. Several theories such as dragons are going to be coming to the map and melting all this ice with their fiery breath are floating around to result in the start of how Season 8 will ultimately come, and there's one key word there that you guys need to really pay attention to: theories. They're only theories, so nothing is confirmed as of yet. Hopefully this video concluded how we got from this point in Season 1 all the way fast forward in time now up until this point being the Season 7 map. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video and it concluded any questions you had about the development of the Fortnite storyline and map from how it got from Season 1 all the way to Season 7 and eventually leading into Season 8. If you did enjoy it, make sure you're leaving a like in the video down below and subscribing to the channel for more videos like this, and make sure to let me know in the comment section if you'd like to see a full storyline video explained upon the release and development into Season 8. One final thing before I end off today's video, make sure to check out the sponsor of today's video, linked at the top of the video description down below, as Moot is a very good social networking app and website, like I said at the start of the video, available on iOS, Android and also PC. Thank you all so much for the support recently, it's been amazing on my channel and I can't wait to post future videos for you guys. Thank you all for watching one more time, I'm out and peace.